Hey homies, it's Zach, Ohio Skater. It's a little darker in here now. I made two other videos today. I made the survivalism slash prepping video, and I made the review synopsis slash review of In a Valley of Violence. Those are two good videos. But right now I'm coming at you with a more like political philosophy, political theory type video about anarchism again. Anarchism, obviously, I'm an anarchist. I want to get back to making more content like that. I was making a lot of content like that for a while, and it's still the most popular stuff on my channel, but I don't like the idea of like my life revolving around politics all the time. I think there's more to life often than just politics. If the only thing you think of or do is politics, you probably live a very sad life. And I want to present a more well-rounded personality on this channel. But I do enjoy politics, and I'm very into it, and I like to make videos about it as well. And I just don't want it to be the only thing I do. But they are the most popular videos on my channel. So I'm back to the anarchism. I love politics. I studied political science in college. I love politics, but you got to find some other things to do. But I think now is the time to be back to politics right now. So this is another video about anarchism, and I want to talk about my idea for an actual anarchist system, an actual way anarchism can work, an actual concrete system that I can lay out to you that would be how I think anarchism could work. So first of all, I'm a mutualist, which is market socialism. I believe in markets rather than planning as a way to allocate resources. I think markets generate more wealth, but I think mutualism rather than capitalism concentrates wealth into a 1%, into a small group of people that own by far most of the wealth. But if you have market socialism, it's sort of like more like generates more wealth, but it's also a more well-distributed wealth, so more people have wealth, and the wealth is more shared, because rather than a private owner or private group of owners, you have social ownership. So you have a market of cooperatives. So first thing, primarily, I believe in a market of cooperatives. So let's just say all the businesses that currently exist in American capitalism, turn them all into worker-owned enterprises or consumer-owned enterprises that are run democratically. So a market of democracy, a market of these democratic businesses, a market of cooperatives. So now another reason I believe in markets, I believe it maintains the idea that this enterprise is independent from other enterprises. In a plan, you have sort of all the enterprises operating under one thing, one system, because everything has to work along with the plan, and it's more of a expanded form of democracy. I guess I favor more local decision making. I think planned economies require too much concentration of power, whereas a market decentralizes power, so a decentralized democratic market, in this market, you would have, so there's the cooperative, which would be part of a syndicate, which the syndicate could have many cooperatives as a part of it. Because a syndicate sort of it's a union. It's a union, and there's a long history of unions owning cooperatives for their members, like insurance for the workers of a certain industry or company or something like that. So but this is that idea, with any sort of business, so this group of workers who form this union can get together within the union, start many different businesses together, and these could all be cooperatives, consumer for the members of the union, or worker for businesses for the workers to make more money, but I think you can have many syndicates with each having many different cooperatives, but you could also have communes, which I also believe in communes, but the idea here is these syndicates are national, international level type things, and there are many different syndicates. So there's competition between syndicates, but it's an international or national based thing. It's a wide area, but their cooperatives can exist in many different localities. Now, you see, in each locality, there will be many different cooperatives from many different syndicates. But see, these cooperatives, they're organized into syndicates on a higher level, not a higher level because there's no hierarchy, but on a more national, international level, these cooperatives are organized into syndicates, and then on a more local level, they're organized a different way into communes. So these cooperatives are part of syndicates, but on the lower level, not the lower level, but the local level, on a commune level, each of the cooperatives, which could be from many different syndicates, is part of all of the cooperatives that exist in the local area are part of that local area's commune. So you have the cooperatives in the local area, which is the commune, and then you have the syndicate, which is the whatever businesses that group of workers owns, So on the local level, you have all the cooperatives in the area as the commune, and the commune can share ownership in the cooperatives just as the syndicate has ownership of the cooperatives. The ownership can be split between the commune and the syndicate. The ownership of the cooperatives can be split between the commune and the syndicate, because if you think about it, a cooperative is either owned by the workers that work there or owned by the consumers that shop there. And in any given area, everyone's going to be working and shopping at the places in that area. You know what I'm saying? But with the syndicate, the ideas can spread to different areas. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't just, it can grow. The business can grow, But in these businesses, there would be no bosses, no management or anything to speak of like that, no small group of private owners or anything. Shares would be completely equal shares for everyone, and they would be run through participatory democracy, which is a sort of decision-making system where the certain groups for each decision, certain groups that are affected the most by that decision get to be the ones that make that decision. So it's not as if everyone is voting on so if you have a department of a business, say it's the human resources department, it's not as if everyone in the business or even everyone in the commune or even everyone in the syndicate is voting on this cooperative's HR department. That is democratically decided by that cooperative's HR department. Now you can have syndicate-wide decisions and you can have commune-wide decisions, but it would also ultimately all be broken up into smaller levels in the various different departments of each commune, the various different cooperatives in the departments of each cooperative, So there's various, territories of democracy, various scopes of democracy, And then also Pierre-Joseph Proudhon, in his idea of mutualism, he had the idea for the agro-industrial federation, which would be the collection of all the communes, cooperatives, and syndicates. It'd be sort of the whole shebang, and that would be and that would be a democracy as well, participatory as well, but it would be an economy. It would be for economy-wide decisions. Now, sharing power with the agro-industrial federation would also be the Bank of the People. Proudhon also had the idea for the Bank of the People. Proudhon and other anarchists. And the Bank of the People is a democratic banking system with universal suffrage. So it's a bank that everyone votes on, And the idea for the Bank of the People was to lower interest rates to near zero, so it would be much easier to start businesses. And the idea is that if every worker could go into business for themselves and start their own business, then capitalists would no longer have the power, because everyone would have the power to be a capitalist, So it sort of gives everyone that same power that capitalists have. Now for this, for full-on mutualism, it would be the power to start a cooperative, the ability to start a cooperative, so new ideas, innovation would be happening all the time because it'd be so easy to start a new cooperative, and the Bank of the People would share democratic control in the whole economy, but it'd just be a bank. It'd be an economic entity, a bank. And the agro-industrial federation would be also like a worker-farmer organization, more than a government, But this would all be democratic, and there would be various democratic decisions being made every single day on various levels, In our current democracy here in America, we vote 2 times a year, basically, the primary and the general, and we vote for representatives, which make most of the decisions for us. We do have some referendums, but you know what I mean. But in this system, we would vote on things every single day, and every sort of decision would be sort of like a referendum, and it'd be a market, which I believe in markets because I think they allow for more economic growth, and And yeah, I think if you have more economic growth, but you also have, if you have market socialism, you have the economic growth of the market, but you also have the socialism which distributes the power more, distributes the fruits of that more evenly, so it's kind of the best of both worlds, so yeah, you have the cooperative, the commune, the syndicate, the agro-industrial federation, and and uh, and the Bank of the People. Now, also, I would like to include distributism in all of this. I'm also a distributist, sympathetic to distributism. I'm mainly a mutualist, but I think we can add elements of distributism into all this. So, you can have like artisans, more artisan type businesses, be sort of individual self-employed people who have it's a business of one. You can have private property for those types of businesses, and you can have guilds for those type of businesses. Guilds rather than unions, and guilds are more like collections of businesses than they are collections of workers, but the thing about it would be everyone in this guild would be self-employed, so it'd be a business of one, so for artisans or special crafts people, or people with a unique skill that skill is sought after, and they don't need anyone else in their economic entity, it's just a sort of individual type thing, so we can allow private property for that, and guilds for that, for those people to be organized. I'm not so much against private property as much as I am against concentrated private property concentrated into a 1%, a small group of people that own most of everything. But if private property could be, if the opportunity to get private property was widespread to everyone, then I wouldn't be opposed to it. So you can have the option, everyone could have the option to go into business as a self-employed business of one type of entity, type of person, so that can be handled for more luxury goods or more crafts, more handmade things, stuff like that, and that's how I think that should be taken care of. So you have so let me go back over that again. You have the cooperative, the commune, the syndicate, the agro-industrial federation, the Bank of the People, and the guild. So these would be all sorts of different economic entities. And also, I believe in degrowth. So we need to decelerate the economy. We can't hold on to this idea that we need to always be pursuing economic growth because it is destroying the planet, So, but I think democracy has more sort of economic democracy, democracy in general, but economic democracy would have sort of more slower paced, more thought out decision making type stuff going on. So you wouldn't have such the economy growing at breakneck speeds, and but that's a good thing, because it saves the environment and it allows for more well thought out decisions. And we can have more things held in common, which aren't even subject to the market whatsoever, like natural resources and parks and different forms of nature and stuff like that, more common property, and it's not that I want a bad economy, it's that I want a more thought out economy. And if you think about it, we can slow down the economy and redistribute power to everyone else, and then everyone can be making money, and it doesn't matter how fast or slow it is, everyone's making more money than they were beforehand because power is more spread out more equally. I'm not saying you just stop the economy and then divvy up whatever exists there. I'm talking about spreading out the power, and the economy may be going more slowly, but if the money is money has to keep coming in. You can't just stop the economy and spread everything out. But if you spread out the power and money keeps coming in, then you don't need such a breakneck fast economy because you're not just taxing and spending. So yeah, definitely some environmental stuff. I want like solar punk type stuff, but more like cyberpunk mixed with solar punk. Solar punk not, because solar punk capitalism type shit, like green capitalism, still believes in economic growth, and it believes in just economic growth to create green solutions. And that's too utopian. I think you need to solar punkify society, but you need to do it by just stopping using fossil fuels and stuff like that. But I believe in more plants, more nature interwoven into the city. I believe in more walkable type stuff, or cycling, but definitely electric cars type stuff too. But yeah, democratic control over natural resources, democratic control over land, democratic control over parks and stuff like that. In a conscious decision by all of us to decelerate the economy. Stop pursuing economic growth. But I think that in that way, actually, everyone can live more equally. People can be more equal. Because with capitalism, it's a competition to grow your business as fast as you can and to make the most money possible. But this would not be possible in my mutual society. But I think now that yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna say something, but basically, capitalism promotes economic growth, and you cannot get rid of economic growth with capitalism. But Yes, but you can decelerate the economy, and oh yeah, so I was gonna say this economic growth would not be possible in this mutualist type of participant type of society I'm describing. That's because it's not because we're forcing the economy to stop. It's not because we're forcibly taking money from capitalists. It's not because we're forcibly preventing new business. It's not because we're forcing anything on anyone. It's because we will have a system that naturally does this, that naturally distributes things more fairly, that naturally slows things down just by the way the system works. And so if you hear laissez-faire, like capitalism being laissez-faire, free market capitalism working unhinged, unimpinged upon, uninfringed upon, yeah, capitalism not infringed upon, just laissez-faire. That's what you think of, laissez-faire. But I want you to think of like a laissez-faire socialism, where socialism just operates naturally. Nothing is forced. There's no dictatorial agenda. There's not even a government. It's a natural socialism. It's a free-flowing socialism. It's just a socialism that once you have the right institutions in place, it naturally occurs, and that's what I really think of anarchism. It's laissez-faire socialism, and that's really what I'm trying to get across here. So definitely more green ways of living, more green food, more green cars, more green landscape, more green everything, and more democracy and more democratic decision making. See, the thing is, it also relies on movements, so there will still be movements pushing for things like the environment, but with democratic decision making, we can make those decisions as a group together, and we would already have democratic control over resources and stuff like that. And so we would have the power. See, right now we don't have the power because capitalists own everything, and they are invested in fossil fuels. But I think most people want green stuff. Most people want to save the environment. So once you put all that in democratic control, people are gonna make the right decisions. I believe. I trust the people. I trust the masses. Yeah, just everything in democratic control. A market of cooperatives. Let's go over this again. So you have the cooperative, the commune, the syndicate, the guild, the agro-industrial federation, and the Bank of the People. These are all the institutions that would make this society work. And this sounds like a lot, but see, mutualism, really what it's about is capitalism is authoritarian, we believe, because it forces private property on most of the economy, right? Now, mutualism really doesn't advocate for any specific form of property as much as it advocates for a diversity in forms of property, a diverse array of different sets of property, a market of many different kinds of property, and that is what a true free market is. So all these are different forms of property and also different forms of democracy that exist on various levels. So it's a diverse economy. It's a more diverse form of an economy because you have a diverse form of property norms and a diverse form of businesses and a diverse form of economic entities, so that's really what it's all about, so yeah, that's basically what I believe in. And I get a lot of hate for it, people. have so much shit to say. Marxist, communist. I consider myself a socialist, but I struggle to call myself a communist. I don't really, because there's some problems with orthodox communist type beliefs that I have, but I definitely consider myself a socialist, a mutualist, a distributist, a syndicalist, which is fine enough for me. But most leftists are either anarcho-communists or Marxists, and they always have shit to say to me, and I really don't give a fuck. I believe what I want to believe, because I believe in what I believe what I think would be the best, and I don't want to follow the crowd just to look cool. I think I believe in economic democracy, and I believe in markets, and I believe in participatory democracy, and I believe in social ownership, and that's good enough for me. I don't need to believe in like moneyless society or anything like that. That's nonsense to me. Or I currencyless society, no currency. That's the biggest thing for me, and I don't need to believe in a whole planned economy or a gift economy or any of that. It's all nonsense to me. I believe in market socialism. That's really what I believe. Gift economics, we could add some gift economics into the system, some elements of it, but I really don't see it working on anything other than like a local level. But like it can be part of the way the commune works. I believe that. I do believe that. But gift economics is all right. I don't mind gift economics, but when it comes to planned economies or completely getting rid of currency, miss me with that shit. I don't believe in it, but for this small reason, everything I just described sounds radical as fuck, right? But for this small reason that I don't believe in these two things that I find stupid, these Marxists and these anarcho-communists, they have so much shit to say to me, and I'm beyond giving a fuck about it. I really don't care. I believe what I want to believe. And a lot of communists are nice to me. A lot of communists and Marxists, mostly in real life, they're better. A lot of them do think I'm cool and do think I have good ideas. But a lot of these fuckers on Discord have big mouths, love to talk shit, and I just let them believe what they want to believe, because ultimately, at the end of the day, I believe mostly in freedom of thought, free thought. Everyone has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe, but that means I have the right to believe in what I want to believe, and you can think about it in any way you want, but I'm going to keep believing it because I think it's the right thing, So I don't want to be part of the hive mind. I'm a socialist, but I don't want to be just another part of the hive mind, I am very strongly individualist, and I am very strongly a believer in making up your own mind and having your own way of doing things in your own philosophy as an individual. And everything I just described to you is my individual philosophy, my individual way of thinking. And I think everyone should think like that. And I think everyone should look at other people as individuals rather than part of a group or whatever. Because at the end of the day, all we really know is that we are individuals. That's all. That's all we really know for sure at the end of the day, So anyway, that's it. That's what I believe, and that's what I think is cool, and that's what I co-sign, So, yeah. So I'll make more videos like this about my anarchist beliefs, stuff like that. I think they're cool. I'll make more videos about all sorts of different kind of politics, because I'm into all sorts of different type of politics. So, but anyway, that's what I have to say about that. And tomorrow I'll probably make another political video, but I am probably first thing in the morning. Well, I might, because I have to wait for my dad to be done working out for me to go use the workout room. But when I go over to my parents' house, I'm going to try to make another martial arts video, martial arts training. I haven't done one of those. I did the yoga and Tai Chi video, but that's not really like fighting martial arts, So, but I got the GoPro charging right now. So we're going to break the GoPro out again. It's been a while since I used the GoPro, and the GoPro is pretty fucking epic. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, so be looking out for that martial arts video tomorrow morning. I got a lot of exercise I've been doing, martial arts exercises I've been doing. Gonna throw a bunch of them into a video, and it should be entertaining. But I'll probably make another political video tomorrow too, because I think it's time to get back to more of those. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed. Peace.